close enough so that we look married.
Apparently. Maybe I should talk like this the whole time. Don't look at my face. Look at my ring. Ready? Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Break Fresh. I'm Lacine, a.k.a. The Pink Coconut, and this is Coop, a.k.a. Inspired by Coop, as many of you have been. So recently, we were featured on BBC News, which is a really big deal, and we're really happy to have joined them in speaking to people about raising a vegan baby and having a vegan family. The feature did really, really well. I think the journalist messaged me. She forwarded me an email from BBC saying that it had received well over 1 million views in just 24 hours across all of their social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So it did really, really well. So we're really excited about that. But that being said, we received a lot of support from a lot of people we know and don't know. But also we received a lot of lashback, and that's because, well, we're raising a vegan child. So we're going to let you guys see the clip now. It's only about 2 minutes long, and then we'll be right back. If for some reason our daughter or, future kids want to eat meat, the rule is not in this house. You can't bring it in this house, and you have to pay for it with your own money. A lot of children don't know that a hamburger is a cow, don't know that bacon is a pig. And if you ask them to eat it, I want to say nearly all of them would say no. Children don't want to eat animals. They go to farms and they pet them and they're completely enthralled by them. They don't want to eat them. They just don't know better. We have pineapples, and I eat papaya every day, and watermelon and cherries and dates and just really good things that make you feel alive and energetic and make you feel like you're making the right choices. Especially, I'm a breastfeeding mom, so every time I have a pineapple juice or something good, I know that I'm really nourishing my baby and feeding her properly, and that makes me feel really good. And then...
You're good at this, I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Even when you do like stories and shit, I hear you talking, I'm like, how did you get that in one take?
But remember, this is always what I wanted to do. Like when I went to college, I was like, I'm going to be a news reporter. And I went to college to be a news reporter.
Yeah.
So
why don't you just do all of my bits? Can't you fill in for me?
You are garbage.
Let me just look good. Let me take off my top. I'm wearing the top 4. Man should be out here.
Anyway, these are hot,
Man's not hot. I don't know what's wrong with you. Alright, so what are we saying?
I'm going to talk, but you have to speak about this too, because last time you didn't.
Alright, so we're starting off with Pop. So now that you've seen the video.
That's how you want it to be?
No, that's how you want it to be.
Okay, go. No, you should say. So now you've seen the video.
Now I've seen this. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't freestyle like that.
Okay. Shh. All right. So you guys have now seen the video that was featured, like I said, across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also obviously we all shared it across our social media. And again, it did really well. But that being said, you saw that the very first thing that I said, and actually I think in the Instagram video it was first, but I was saying that a lot of children don't know what meat is, and therefore they eat it so casually. We're sort of raised in this culture where we just eat hamburgers and eat hot dogs and eat, bacon, things like that.
Yeah.
And most kids don't associate that with being an animal. I know I didn't. I didn't figure out. I stopped eating meat when I was about 12. My mom said I learned something at school, and I came home and I was like, I'm not eating this. It's an animal. I'm not doing it anymore. Thankfully for me, my parents supported that, and they were like, well, you don't have to eat it, but my mom, she's not the best cook. Sorry, Mom.
I did, but I'm the youngest in my family.
You did what?
I knew what I was eating, but I'm the youngest in my family.
What does that mean?
So if I knew I was eating chicken, but obviously me being
Chicken's a funny one though, because it's the animal and the food. You know what I mean? Because then there's like pig and bacon and hamburger and cow.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to insert this right here because some really, yes, the comment, some really special person, when I said that a lot of kids don't know what they're eating and that they don't know that hamburger is a cow, she commented, and I forget like whose page it was on, but she put, hamburger is not a cow, and she called me something like silly or a fool or an idiot. She said something really rude, but the ham part was in quotations, and she was like, clearly you don't know what you're talking about because that's not a cow, and this means that it was a pig.
I hope that you actually still have that image.
I know I screenshotted it, like I know I did, I just don't know where it is.
We'll find it, we'll pop it up on the screen. If we have it, then it'll be up on the screen like right now. If not, but listen.
Silly, yeah.
Okay, so from chicken, but of course coming from my dad being Ghanaian, my mum being Jamaican, most of the food that we ate was West Indian food, so Caribbean food, and we used to have things like lamb neck. So we knew we was eating
lamb neck, neck of lamb.
Yeah, so we knew that we was eating the neck of a lamb, or we was having oxtail and rice.
But and correct me if I'm wrong, because I never ate those things. Like my mom made like, I don't know, steaks and chickens and stuff like that. Like we never had oxtail or lamb neck or whatever, which is disgusting to me, by the way. But correct me if I'm wrong, like you sort of spit these words out, not really realizing what you're saying. So you're not thinking of it as tail of ox. You're just thinking oxtail. So you still don't have that association.
No, there's no association. Also, it's just because we've already been conditioned into eating it already.
Yeah.
At first, to be honest, whenever I used to ask my mum, what is it that I'm eating? She would say, shit with sugar.
Shit with sugar.
But what am I eating? Shit with sugar. Just shut up and eat it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I was just eating food. And if I liked it, then she'll tell me what it was and blah, blah, blah. But generally, I'd never used to bother ask the question. So when I started eating out, so every day, unlike in your situation, my mom cooked for us every single day. So I never had the urge or the feeling to ever want to eat out. And whenever I did, obviously, like my mum is quite known to being a really good cook.
She's a really, really good cook.
Solid.
He didn't eat out for the first time until he was 18 years old.
Exactly. So for me to go to any type of West Indian restaurant or whatever,
it just didn't match up.
Whenever I looked at the food and it had all the different names of the food, I was like, what is that? I don't even know what it is.
Because your mom, but that does bring up a really good point. Parents don't communicate to children what they're eating, and maybe they feel like they don't have to. Maybe children don't show interest. Maybe the parents, I don't know what it is. But you're right. We sort of just grow up in these households where our parents put food in front of us and we just eat it.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's how everybody's raised. I mean, but I definitely know that I didn't know the names of the food that I was eating, a lot of the foods.
No, but I think
some foods I did know, but then when I saw them in the store, and then I wanted to...
Because then you could put a name by it, and you could say, well, what is this?
I could only point out the ones that look familiar to me.
Yeah.
But apart from that...
No, but, that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't know until you maybe saw it on a menu or somewhere and you read it. But lots of kids, when I was eating, I don't know, hot dogs or hamburgers or stuff like that, like, I still wasn't thinking of it as an animal. I'm just eating a hamburger.
Yeah.
And I suppose you're not taught to question what you're eating, and that's really the difference between us. I mean, we are raising our daughter to question what she's eating and to know that she's eating for health, right? So she's sustaining her health with a variety of whole foods, and those whole foods are going to protect her and aid in her longevity. Yeah?
Yeah, of course. Like the whole point of the way we're raising our daughter or our children, our future children, is that they actually have an understanding of how it grows, what it looks like, what it does for the body, and any harmful foods too, and what those foods
and the
do
effects
to the body.
of those foods.
A lot of the times when we're told that we should be eating meat, all we're taught is to eat meat for protein, but we're not taught...
Or red meat for iron.
Yeah, but we're not taught the side effects or the metabolized waste that comes with it. that your body has to deal with, which of course breaks down cell membranes, it causes more cell and tissue damage, and then from there, the moment you come sick, they don't relate it to food. So there's never any relationship between illness and
you go to the
your
doctor
food.
and they're just like, well, take this medicine and keep doing what you're doing, and you should be better. So you're just masking the symptom, never really figuring out what the cause was that's having this effect, so that you can stop making yourself sick. And, you know, so to talk about our daughter again, that's exactly what we're doing. We're teaching her, you know, this is a coconut and this is what it's good for. And this is honeydew, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've actually never seen this one. He really likes it. The ones I get back home are orange. I don't care for this one, to be honest.
I'm very happy
because
about
it's all
that.
for you.
Yeah, exactly that.
But
can I just say something?
Yeah.
Hold your thought. This is a longan, and it looks like this, and in the inside, it looks like that. I hope you can see that. It's Southeast Asia. Some parts of China you can find a lot of these, and actually they grow these in Florida too. By the Everglades.
Everglades.
Everglades. That's it.
Yeah.
It's related to the lychee family.
Okay.
Very high in vitamin C.
And those are really good. Yeah, I like them. If we teach her what she's eating and the effects of those foods, we believe that she'll always make the right choice. And the right choice is not our choice. The right choice is the healthy choice. And she will know that.
It's funny because they're saying we haven't given her a choice. But if we was eating meat and we've made her eat meat, then what choice have we given her?
Exactly, which brings me to my next point. And a lot of people who were sort of defending us or were sort of on our side in the video did say that. Like, well, as somebody who eats meat, you're not giving your child a choice whether they want to eat an animal or not. I mean, so it's the same thing. If you live a certain lifestyle, you have your children and you raise them to live that lifestyle. It's not whether it's vegan or meat eating or, you know, if you're adventurous, if you're a family who plays lots of sports. That's what you do because that's your lifestyle. So why is it any different that we don't eat meat? Do you think we're going to cook her separate food to give her meat? Absolutely not. There's no death in this house. It's not allowed. And that brings me to another point at the beginning of one of the videos. I don't know if it was on Facebook or Instagram because one was 2 minutes, one was 1 minute. So I don't know which one this one that you saw was. But we were just saying how a lot of children don't know where their meat comes from or where their food comes from. And I'm sure that if they did, they wouldn't be so quick to grab that piece of meat and eat it the same way. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, you know, I grew up on a farm and I still ate meat, or my kids grew up on a farm or growing up on a farm and they still eat meat, and they honor the animal who sacrificed its life. First of all, I just don't really feel like the animal's sacrificing their life if you're sort of, I don't know, if you're electrocuting them or whichever way these animals are being slaughtered, and if you're sort of funneling them into a room like a lot of them do, and if you're not eating it for health reasons. At the end of the video where the doctor, the pediatric doctor, comes along and she says that a vegan diet can be okay, but you need to make sure that you're getting extra nutrients because you need vitamin D, calcium, and I think she said iron. Okay,
let me just clarify this. You do not get calcium from cow's milk. Simple as that.
You have to explain that.
Okay, so the reason why you don't get calcium from cow's milk is because there's less calcium than there is animal protein.
Less calcium. So there's more animal protein than calcium.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, calcium is alkaline and animal protein leaves a sulfuric acid waste from the metabolism of protein. Therefore, it neutralizes the calcium. So therefore, so what happens now? So the ratio is 42% calcium, 58% animal protein.
That's in all cow's milk, like whether it's, I don't know, skimmed or reduced fat or 2%, you know, because there's different kinds.
It just means that it's going to be less calcium and less protein. So no matter how they refine it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happens after that is that the sulfuric waste or the calcium tries to negate the acid waste, and that's what it will do. But then there's less calcium in the first place. Okay. So then now there's no more calcium, but then there's a few percentage of animal protein.
Okay.
Now, what your body's going to do is going to try and alkalize that situation because your body doesn't want acid in the bodies because, of course, of tissue breakdown, cell membrane breakdown.
We always want to be in an alkaline state.
Yeah, so therefore, now what happens is it starts to leach calcium from your tissues or from your bones, or it causes it raises your cholesterol, because cholesterol is also an alkalizer. So then, just so it can negate the amount of acid that's being produced in your body.
And all this because people are thinking like, I'm getting my calcium.
Exactly. So that's why in countries where they're more prone to consuming meat and dairy, have a higher rate of osteoporosis because
osteoporosis is brittle bones.
Yeah.
And so calcium is leached and actually makes you weaker. And
exactly.
So that makes sense. What was I going to say just now about, to bring up one other point, a lot of people were saying because the caption on the BBC feature said, raising a vegan baby. And a lot of people said, oh, she's breastfed, so she's not vegan. They're not vegan. And there were actually like full-on arguments about this. I'll have to find some, but I don't have the brain cells. Like, breastfeeding my baby is not vegan. Did you know that?
It's news to me.
Okay, so this is not even an argument. If I have a baby and I produce milk naturally and I have breast to breastfeed my baby and I feed her, this has nothing to do with being vegan or not being vegan. This has everything to do with just the natural order of things. Just like any other creature or animal produces milk for their offspring and they feed them. We are not cows. So why are we feeding our babies cow's milk? Baby calves are born a few 100 pounds, and within a year, I think they grow to be up to 1,000 pounds. It might not even be in a year, but cows are over 1,000 pounds. So you're feeding your baby cow's milk and then saying, why is childhood obesity on the rise? It just doesn't make any sense. And not to mention all of the effects of cow's milk. These children are breaking out in eczema and rashes, and they're having diarrhea, and they're vomiting. It's because their body's like, no, please, I can't take this. I'm not a cow. What I would really prefer is your breast milk.
I mean, and not to mention everything that goes into the cow. I mean, growth hormones, sex hormones, antibiotics. So you've got all of these different chemicals or drugs that's being pumped into these animals. And then wondering why little girls now are having their periods at the age of 9. I mean, 100 years ago, there was no child, no female would have their menstrual cycle before the age of 16.
Yeah. That
was just a standard. And now you've got to think, okay, so the age of 9 they're having their period, and at the age of 10, 11, they're thinking about sex. And now we're wondering why children are behaving the way they're behaving.
But everything has sort of been like moved back or forward, however you want to look at it. And it's just the effects of having this sort of toxic. But, again, so that all being said, we intend to teach our daughter about food, and we intend to make her part of the process. When she's old enough, she'll be cutting fruit and vegetables with us. She'll be going to the farmer's market, and hopefully we'll have a garden soon, and she'll be growing her own things and picking her own fruit and veg. So she's going to be really connected to all of it, and she's going to know. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Yes, we love animals. I love animals. I truly love them because I don't eat them, right? But that's not why we're vegan. We're vegan for our health. I put vegan in quotes because that's the term most people know. Plant-based is the better word. So we're plant-based for our health. The more research you do, the more you start to watch videos and read books and even talk to other people, the more you're going to see this is the way it's supposed to be. But again, it's for our health. I mean, my skin's never been better. My hair is growing. My nails used to be so weak and they're super long now. I used to take lots of naps. My menstrual cycle used to be crazy. Changed the way I eat, and all of that went away. So you can't deny the benefits or the effects of eating better.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. We just don't want our children to have to suffer. So we're teaching her about food. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we do it all with love. We are going to have tons more videos for you every Sunday. So tune in, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.